Good morning. It must be just about 7 o'clock because I think the sun's coming up at 6:58 this morning. So I am doing something that I want to invite you to join me on if you're interested. I signed up for a free 21-day meditation series that comes through WhatsApp with Deepak Chopra. And some of you might know that before I left for this, I said that one of my goals was to start a meditation practice because a lot of people have indicated it might be good for me. Can't think why. And because my intention was just to try a lot of things while I was here. So 5 days ago, I guess, a new woman that is in my life, Dr. Jennifer Nash, sent out a note to a number of people saying that she was offering this free 21-day meditation if anybody wanted to take it with her. So I signed up, and yesterday was day 3, and I didn't listen to it until right before bed. Let me say, meditation's not super easy for me. You can imagine that my brain runs on ludicrous speed much of the time. It's pretty loud in there. It's pretty cacophonous. It's pretty non-linear. But I have really been enjoying these. So there is an assignment each day in addition to the about 10-minute meditation, 8 to 10 minute meditation. The whole thing takes about 15 minutes. One of the assignments was list everybody who you think has achieved happiness in some part of their lives. That was a really powerful assignment because we forget that achieving happiness in and of itself and for itself is a really fabulous thing. So that was a great way for me to spend some time just thinking about that. But yesterday's assignment was to lead my own free 21-day Deepak Chopra meditation. With, I think 3 is the minimum they ask you to try to get. And my first thought was, well, I can't do that. Who would I even ask? And then I listened to the meditation and I thought, why wouldn't I see if somebody wants to be involved in this with me? It's been really beautiful. And I'm going to share with you a little bit this morning what yesterday's meditation was about to give you a tiny hint. I'm no Deepak Chopra. Don't be confused. He's got the voice, he's got the music, he's got the dinging, beautiful kind of gold bowl. I'm not him. But there's something to think about. So I'm going to put you towards the sun, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what yesterday's meditation was. And then when we come back, we'll talk about how you could sign up and join me to do it for free as well. So let's go to the sun. Good morning, sun. There it comes. You see that tiny peak through the trees? It just broke the horizon surface. Okay, so yesterday's focusing phrase was, today I focus on what I want to attract into my life. Today I focus on what I want to attract into my life. And then he asked this question: what is reality? Is it what we experience with our minds, or is it something deeper? And to clarify it, he says, where did the chair that you're sitting on exist before it was a chair? Where was your newborn baby before she was born? Just because we can't see it or feel it or taste it or touch it or hear it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And the same is true of abundance. And then he goes on to talk about our mind being the place where we can, through thoughts, words, and deeds, manifest things. But beyond the mind, in the deeper part of our existence, is our spirit. And this is eternal, unchanging, and filled with unlimited potential. So if our words, thoughts, and beliefs, which come from our mind, create specific results in the physical world, which we know that they do, if you break eggs and mix them with flour and butter and sugar and baking soda and chocolate chips, you get cookies. That's not abstract, that's concrete. And that's from our ability to think about how to put them together and then to actually go do it. So if our words, thoughts, and beliefs create specific results in the physical world, isn't that also true for abundance? Because abundance is not an external experience. Abundance comes from inside. So think about that for a minute. Think about the areas of your life that you want more of. More time, more money, better health, more love, more intellectual challenge, more joy, more travel, more downtime. Whatever your more is, a lot of it can be manifested from your own internal process. Now, this is a little bit where these kinds of ideas leave me a little bit cold. If I think about my dear friend Amy Taggart, who died of cancer at 43. I believe that Amy, with all her heart and soul and spirit, wanted to live. I don't believe that Amy died because she did not manifest health. I don't believe my stepdad died because he didn't manifest health. I don't believe that the Syrian people have been at war and have had such horrific lives because they didn't manifest peace. I don't believe that, because that feels cruel and self-serving and small. So there's a balance to be struck somehow, because we don't all get everything we want, and sometimes that's the gift. Sometimes we want things that don't serve us. So I'm not here telling you that 3 days into meditation now, I believe you can will away or will to you everything you do and don't want. I don't really believe that. But I do believe that we can open our lives up to more. I think that while my stepdad was dying, he spent his last weeks on a quest to live. As he was dying, I called him one day and asked him if he wanted to come to a kind of a body flow class that I took at the gym, fully expecting him to say no. And this was probably 2 months before he died. And he said to me, absolutely, pick me up. We got to go get me some sweatpants. And he came with me. And he did Tai Chi and Pilates and yoga. And it was beautiful. And he had me go buy a juicer because he read a study that natural juice can cure some cancers. He was the smartest man I ever met. He wasn't delusional. He wasn't being silly. He was living even as he was dying. He was filling his dying time with abundance. I think that's what we are called to do. And I think that is what last night's meditation reminded me of. I could meditate morning, noon, and night to win an Oscar, let's say. I don't burn for that the way I used to, but let's say that's what I decided would give me my most abundant life, to win an Oscar. Well, I'd have to make a film to get the Oscar nomination to be considered for an Oscar. I haven't made a film. So what if one of my many filmmaker friends came to me and said, I'm making a film and I want you to play, here's the joke with my filmmaker friends, I want you to play a mom on the phone in one scene. Maybe I say, no, because I'm waiting for my Oscar-winning film. Well, maybe the mom on the phone in one scene is the stolen role of the script. And it's the Judi Dench of Shakespeare in Love. She was only in that film for 7 or 8 minutes. You just don't know. So while you're busy manifesting this big outcome, don't be silly and miss the little steps along the way that lead to the outcome. I don't believe the outcome just shows up. I don't believe that by meditating on an Oscar, I'm just going to wake up someday and there'll be a beautiful dress hanging in my closet and an Oscar on the mantelpiece. I don't believe that. But I believe that if that is my end goal, there are lots of ways to work towards that in my life that will lead to an incredibly rich and full life, whether I ever win the Oscar or not. Good morning, John. And that is I think that's the great lesson. The working towards the big manifestation is the manifestation. That is the goal. And some people will get to the actual thing they've manifested. Every year somebody wins a Best Supporting Actor, Actress, Best Actor, Actress award. Somebody gets those. Maybe someday it will be me. But you know what? My life's not ruined in the ensuing time between today and then because I'm working towards it. Now, again, I'm not working towards an Oscar so much anymore. But if we turn it back to what I've been working on these now 8 days, this great big writing and speaking life, everything I'm doing, even so much of what I'm doing in my seemingly unrelated day job at the Arts Partnership, is taking me closer and closer to that goal. And you know what? Every step along the way has brought me different joy, has brought me immeasurable satisfaction, has given me great gifts. So am I the Elizabeth Gilbert of Fargo, North Dakota? Not today. But I'm making my way towards that. And if I never end up on the New York Times bestsellers list for 3 years, I haven't wasted my life. I've worked towards this thing that for me right now is the most abundant thing that I can think of. And then let me give you one more example because I think we're past it. And so that's an interesting place to be. Past it and beyond. Let's say that, not past it and beyond. One of my great wishes for years was that somehow I could make Maz Mary stop drinking. Somehow I could shake it out of him. I could scream it out of him. I could cry it out of him. I could shame it out of him. I could rationalize it out of him. I just knew somehow I could do that. So my place of greatest abundance would be a sober Maz Mary who was like he was when I met him. Well, guess what? The universe got really, really busy on that, on my behalf, and more importantly, on his behalf. And I had nothing to do with it. His body manifested a bad enough nosebleed that it forced him to the hospital. It forced him into sobriety against his will and with nothing to do with me. And then from that moment on, he had the opportunity to make the choice of living his most abundant life. And when he made the choice to say yes, I got my dream and wish and fondest hope as well. And so the achieving being in the past and more than has been these last 3+ years of abundance I never dreamed possible. In my wildest dreams, I did not imagine the life that I have right now. And in so many ways, it doesn't look that different than it did 4 years ago. But in every way that matters, it is completely different. So, what's the thing that you want to attract into your life today? The thing, the feeling, the experience. What is that? Set your focus on that. And then most importantly, don't get caught up in thinking that unless you get that, whatever you're focusing on, exactly as you're focusing it, laid in front of you with a ribbon around it, it hasn't worked. Because believe me, I think that our minds are conditioned to think smaller than what the universe can provide. So focus on what you want and then watch it start to unfold in your life. So if you are interested in joining me on this 21-day free WhatsApp meditation with Deepak Chopra, I feel like I'm doing a infomercial right now. I probably would have showered if I was actually doing an infomercial. But if you're interested in that, why don't you send me an email? I think that's the easiest, best way for me to get you, because if we're not friends on Facebook, I may not see your message. So my email is dayna@extraordinary.com. And just let me know you want to do it. I don't believe there's anything at the end of it that's going to be a gotcha. I haven't gotten to the end of it yet. But these 3 days have been really powerful for me. It takes about 15 minutes. You can do it. You have 24 hours once it gets sent to you to do it. And you don't have to do anything other than just report with a quick done, day 1, day 2, whatever. So I'm really enjoying it. And if you want to do it, I think I will start it on Sunday. So I don't know what day that is. Today's the 10th, 11th, 12th. September 13th. I will start it on Sunday, September 13th. So if you'd like to join me, send me an email at dayna@extraordinary.com. And we'll go through it again together. I'll finish up these days and I'll start those days simultaneously. And we'll see what that looks like. And the whole purpose of it is that when you are receiving such gifts from the universe, you are compelled and almost obligated to share such gifts as well. So I'm going to go back to the sun. Please have an extraordinary day. Think about what you want and then watch it show up. Bye.